Hi, my name's Tim Little and I'm the owner and creative director of Grenson. I think probably the main thing was the history. It was a company with this wonderful, amazing history that hadn't really told its story in the last 20 years or so, and a lot of people didn't know much about Grenson. And the more I learnt about it, I'd known about the brand from when I was young, but hadn't heard about it for a long time. So delving back into the story of the brand and the company and seeing all this amazing history, I think that was it really, the opportunity to bring that out again. And the process starts always with an idea to me. So we're not kind of people, or I'm not somebody who sits down with a blank sheet of paper and a pencil and thinks, how do I draw a great shoe? It's more about an idea of a type of shoe. So I might think of something, wouldn't it be if we took such and such a brogue and put a really chunky sole on it, or what if we put this or changed that leather, or what if we made a last with a really bulky toe or really wide shape or really narrow, whatever. So it kind of starts with a group of ideas for shoes. What if we did a hybrid between that type of shoe and that type of shoe and played around with it? And it starts with all these kind of ideas, and then there's an in-house design team, and we sit together and we go through the ideas, and I'll put in my various thoughts, they'll put in theirs, and we'll say, well, do you think we could make that work? They go off and draw a few things up, and then we get into prototypes and things, and the bit where it really starts to happen is the prototype stage. So as soon as we get the first prototype back from the factory, you can immediately tell whether it's going to work or not. And sometimes look at it and go, no, that's completely not going to work. That was a bad idea. Other times you look at it and think, yeah, okay, with a few tweaks, I think this might go in the right direction. So that's how it starts, and then the design team develop it further, and we do more and more prototypes, lots and lots of tweaking. The sales team are always saying the shows are coming up, you better hurry up, and I'm always making lots more changes, and then eventually we get the product ready and it goes into production. That's a really difficult question. I think probably it would have to be the Archie triple welt, probably, because to me that is like an exaggeration of the heart of Grenson. I wanted to do a shoe that was just took everything that Grenson was about and exaggerated it. So it's a brogue, but it's got exaggerated big punching, it's on a big wide last, and it's got this amazing handmade welt to it that has loads of handwork in and shows all the craft and all the time and everything. And I just think I love that shoe. You look at it and you wear it and people notice it and ask you about it, and I think that's probably what Grenson is all about. There's 1,001 things you can do to look after your shoes better. I think the single most important thing is probably to rotate them. So a really well-made English shoe like ours, if you wear it every single day, what happens is they get quite damp, even if it's hot. In fact, if it's hot, they get even more damp, because the moisture from you goes into the shoe, and the shoe lasts about half the time when it's wet. So if you walk around on a shoe that's got moisture in the leather very quickly, say the sole, for example, if it's damp, will wear out a lot quicker. So I think if you can rest them and wear a shoe every other day, if you've got 2 pairs or even 3 pairs is even better, put a shoe back, the shoe trees in it, put it away, wear it again a few days later. That's important. The other thing, of course, is use decent polish, and not just a very waxy polish that sits on the surface to give it a high shine, but a polish that's a little bit more of a leather food that soaks into the leather and keeps it really supple. And it's all about the leather. It's a very natural product, and looking after that leather is what it's all about. One of the first things I did was get all the old brochures out and catalogues and things. And I noticed that from about the 1930s till about 1960 or 1970, on all the catalogues and all the advertising that they did was just this beautiful little slogan, the good shoe. And I loved it because what's so nice about it is that it's so understated, it's so English. It's like, it's not saying the best shoe, the most incredible shoe, if you wear this shoe you'll be fabulous and all of that, just the good shoe. And so we thought, let's just bring it back. And we got our graphic design guys to, I said, we just want to do that logo, can you do it, can you give us a kind of piece of artwork for it? And so they went away and they redesigned it and brought it back. I said, I don't want it redesigned, I want it exactly like it was, just recreate it exactly in the old typeface. And so we use it all the time now, and it feels really relevant, even though it's kind of 1930s design. I love it.
Yeah.
When I first started making shoes under my own brand, I first started Tim Little in the 90s. I was doing things like I made shoes for Chelsea when they played in the cup final in '97 and stuff like that. But there was this guy who was my big hero called John Lee Hooker, and I thought I'd really love to make shoes for him. So I contacted him through his agent. It took a long time, and all of my shoes are also named after blues songs. So his agent asked for a catalogue. I sent a catalogue, and he chose a pair of Chelsea boots, sent him the Chelsea boots. They were called Slidewinder. And his agent called and said he couldn't get them on because he was quite old and they were quite difficult to pull on. So he sent them back and he said, have you got any loafers? So I sent him a pair of loafers, and the message came back that they were perfect, they fitted really well. And as he was putting them on, he saw on the inside that they were called Whiskey and Women, which was the name of one of his songs. By chance, I hadn't sent it for that reason, and apparently he loved that. So that was my favourite kind of moment, that he was walking around in a pair of my shoes.